I grew up around big black guys as a basketball player. I hung around guys that are 6'7", 6'8", and because I grew up like that, that was just kind of normal to me, and I never really thought anything of it. But the other night, I posted this thing on my Facebook page. It was an article, and it's amazing we've already forgotten about this, but the black guy that was watching birds in Central Park and basically got threatened on video by the white lady. I posted a story about this guy, and all I said was, man, what a nice guy, because he had basically said what she did was not right, but we shouldn't destroy her life for that. And I got a comment from a friend of mine named Abbasi Thomas. Abbasi is a black guy.
Right.
Here's what he said that really stuck out to me, and I want people, especially white people that are listening to this, to really pay attention to this, because I think even me, as somebody who spent tons of time around big black men, I don't think this. So here's what he said, Cyril, and I want you to comment on this. He says, I'm 6 foot, 250 pound muscular black man. I might as well be the human equivalent of a pit bull. I have to plan when I go out in public. If I want to wait until the heat of the day cools off and go to the park at night, I have to be mindful that at the park at night, I might scare somebody. I have to make sure I have a pleasant face, smile, look not threatening. I can't have a bad day. I can't be angry in public. I can't raise my voice. And then he goes on to say some other things. And I messaged him. I said, man, that really hit home to me, because until you're in the shoes of somebody like George Floyd or Cyril White, you just don't know the kinds of things that you have to keep in your mind as a black male in this country. So talk about that a little bit, Cyril, if you don't mind.
Yes, I appreciate his statement. I was asked by a reporter of the 25 black men that I know in my professional circle, 25 professional black men that are either playing in the NBA or some foreign league, NFL, a sports agent, basketball coach. How many have been profiled and harassed by non-black police officers? And it's 25.
Yeah.
And
100%.
We all have 100%.
100%. Yeah.
Multiple, it's like wait until one guy finishes telling their experience so the next guy can share their story. And, Will Smith recently said that racism isn't getting worse, it's getting filmed. And he spoke about how much now, even in the case of Mr. George Floyd, we both know if those cameras were not rolling, how different the narrative could be and probably would be, as we see what happened even with the initial autopsy that was in the hands of the people of Minneapolis. So, it's something that you have to keep in mind. I have a black son who was, very strong and very muscular. And, his lens is that he's socialized in a very diverse environment, coming up and growing up in private schools. It comes to a point where sometimes the lens change even in that environment. And you have to have different conversations about, hey, okay, we know we're in this certain neighborhood, but I know your buddies want to go ride skateboards and bikes at night, but you can't go.
Yeah.
You can't go. So we're going to come pick you up at that time, and just try those conversations that parents that are not black or not of color, maybe they don't have to have these same type of talks with their kids. So it's definitely an ongoing adjustment that has to be made.
Yeah, and one of the things you referenced the Will Smith quote, which I had heard, that things are just being filmed now, but I would add to that there's a lot of stuff going on that's not captured on video. The video is just the tip of the damn iceberg. And so what I'm seeing now, Cyril, is stuff like people saying, well, statistically, the chances of dying from a police officer are higher if you're white than if you're black. And what I want to say is, you have, if that is your argument, you have no forget about the murders. What about just the constant suspicion the mistreatment, the planning of evidence. What about all that stuff? That does not happen in my community. I can tell you that for an absolute fact, and it does happen in the Black community far more often than it should.